jack.com. Jack is our lecturer today, and I'm so pleased to be able to introduce him. Traveling back and forth from the spiritual realm and the psychic world and the physical world, Jack could be defined as an alien from a planet of his own. Well, I guess all of us are kind of aliens, aren't we? Originally from Pomona, California, he moved to San Diego at 12 years old and spent his youth serving the Christian church. Whether it was teaching Sunday school or running an after-school program, Jack has always been a pillar in every community that he's been a part of. At the age of 18, Jack knew he had a message that reached far beyond the walls of the church. Not only was he able to come out of the closet and learn to love himself, he was also able to take that love and give it out to the universe. He began serving in different communities, including prison ministry, gay rights activism, and the online space where he is known as JustJack.com. In 2018, Jack attended the First Spiritualist Church, and since then, he has had the opportunity to hone in on not only his psychic medium abilities, but also dive deeper into the gifts and talents that he has to offer this world. So without further ado, everyone, this is the most beautiful Just Jack.
Hello, 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 hello. Thank you. Thank you so much, Reverend. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the broadcast. Thank you for, I want to thank the church, you know, because the church really came at a time where it always comes. Many different churches come at many different times in my life. And this one just kind of plopped in my lap and has really transformed me. And I continue to transform because of you and the people in this church who serve and teach, and even the congregation, the people that show up are just so full of light. And I cannot wait to get back in that building and be around all of you guys, especially you guys who are here on the live broadcast. Love you guys, and we will see each other soon. Let me get on with the show now. The other day, Reverend Lorena messaged me, and she says, hey, do you have a solid method of what we're going through? No, I don't personally. And so then she goes, and if so, can you give lecture? And I'm like, well, I can give a lecture, but a solid method? No, my solid method is always just be. Sometimes, lots of times that method is be quiet. Just be and be quiet, Jack. I don't have to be anything but my being. We are human beings, not human doings. Human beings, spiritual beings is what we are. And lots of times, I was talking to my friend Eden Steele. Hello, Eden. She said, you know, Jack, sometimes I'm like a turtle and I'm just swimming around and going with the flow. And she said, but sometimes I have to stick my arm in my shell and then another arm in. And then she sticks her entire body in her shell and she is just there being. And I really do believe it's in that space of retreat, that space of just being with one, you understand that you are one and you are connected to the one, which is the entire universe. And that's where things get fun. That's where things get really fun. That's when you are able to listen in the quiet. That's when you are able to listen to your internal guidance system. That is what my conversation is about today. Your internal guidance system, because what I told Reverend Lorena is, I said, girl, I don't listen to anything outside of my internal guidance system, period. I haven't in a long time listened to anything other than my internal guidance system. My internal guidance system knows what's best for me. Gary Zukav said, it's kind of like a mothership. The soul is a mothership, and we are all little tiny boats following that mothership. And the mothership does not dictate what happens on each individual boat. You know, some boats are just flowing and happy, and they're excited about life. And then other boats choose not to follow the mothership, and that's rough waters, rocky waters. And I would encourage you guys to watch that Super Soul Conversation. What was it called again? The New Perception of Community with Gary Zukav and Oprah. It's a Super Soul Conversation. When we are following our own internal guidance system, there are things that you do and there are things that you don't do. Remember, we're human beings, not human doings. But if we are going to do things, we want to know what to do and what not to do. And one thing that I do not do is I do not feed the fears. Write that down. Do not feed the fears. I got a big sign that says, do not feed the monkeys, all right? The monkeys like in Jumanji, right? They're just running all over the place, causing ruckus, causing a muck. That's the fears in our mind. The monkeys in our mind running all over the place, causing a ruckus, making all kinds of stuff up. You know, fear is false evidence appearing real. It's false. Fear is an illusion. Kyle Cease even said fear is like creating a monster and then having a bad dream about that monster. You created it. Therefore, what you can create, you can uncreate, right? What are you feeding? What are you feeding? Because what you feed thrives and what you starve dies. Are you feeding fear? Are you feeding love? Gary Zukav also said that we create out of fear or we create out of love. What are you creating out of is a good question you want to ask yourself when you are inside your shell, when you retreat, when you're quarantined, right? When the governor says you cannot leave your home, turn off Netflix, turn off the Tiger God movie. What is that on Netflix? You know, turn off the Tiger God and tap into the inner God. How about that? Tap into the inner God and listen to the internal guidance system that is allowing you and teaching you how to be a part of the creation. In The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav. I'm on a Gary Zukav trip. In The Seat of the Soul, it says, the world in which we live has been created unconsciously by unconscious intentions. Every intention sets energy into motion, whether you are conscious of it or not. You create in each moment. Each word that you speak carries consciousness. More than that, carries intelligence and, therefore, is an intention that shapes light. I intend to shape light, and we are light workers in this world. Hashtag light workers unite, right? We're the light workers in this world. I like to consciously create. I like to be involved so that I may evolve and be a part of my own soul's evolution. I like to consciously create. And look at, people are unconsciously creating the world that they are observing around them. they say, oh, there are such bad things going on. And then you have somebody who says, oh, there are such good things going on, you know. And Reverend Lorena says, there is no good, there is no bad, there just is. There just is. And in the words of Reverend Peggy, all is well. Yes, all is well. We are in divine, perfect order, you know. Some people say, well, how is all is well? How can you say that when there is this happening and there's this happening in the world, and explain this to me? And it's like, I think of Mary Poppins when she says, let me make one thing quite clear. I never explain anything. Why do I have to explain something to somebody else? Why do I have to explain your internal guidance system? You have an internal guidance system. You explain it to yourself. Why do I have to explain my belief systems? Why do I have to get somebody else to try to believe what I believe in? Guess what? My belief systems do not require them to. They are my belief systems. And our beliefs, each person has their own belief system that guides them internally. And they go with their own flow from their own belief systems. Beliefs are just things that you have told yourself over and over and over. Belief systems, Barbara Marciniak said this, beliefs can either hold you in bondage or they can set you free. What do you believe? What are you feeding? Are you feeding the bondage or are you feeding the freedom? Are you feeding the fear or are you feeding the love? Are you feeding the peace that surpasses all understanding? Peace is just as much of a choice as suffering. I choose peace in this moment. I'm creating moment by moment. And in this moment, guess what I'm choosing? I choose peace. In this moment, guess what I'm choosing? I choose love. Oh, you want to choose suffering? You want to choose mediocrity? You want to choose to be like all the rest of them? That's your choice. This comes with acceptance. I accept you for making your choice. You want to sit in anxiety? Go ahead, you have every right. But don't get mad at me when I choose peace, all right? Don't get mad at me for being on the frequency of joy. Don't get mad when I'm choosing to clear the lens and see the beauty that is in this world. Don't get mad. You do you. You have every right. Just please, please let me do me, is what I always say. Peace. I choose peace. One time my friend Sam, my best friend in the entire world, Sam J. Cortez, he is just, that's where I learned from. He is just always happy and he's so joyful. And even in the worst times, he is just living his best life. And I said, Sam, you are so happy, my love, and you are so peaceful. Where does your peace come from? And he snaps his fingers and kind of gets out this magic wand and he says, my peace is an amalgamation of every single influence that has ever come into my life. Every single influence. We are influenced every single moment, especially now because we're entering the age of Aquarius. We are being influenced every single moment. What are we allowing to influence us? Is a good question to ask. Influence is when something has the ability to change one's mind. Excuse me, I need to wet my whistle. Are you being influenced by peace? Because when you're influenced by peace, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It doesn't matter what goes on in the world around you because peace allows you to clear the lens. It allows you to see the beauty. Many people are creating their reality based on what they are observing around them. That's their reality. That's their choice. But when you create your reality based on what you are observing around you, you never give the imagination the chance to create something new, the chance to create something beautiful. Remember, the imagination is God. And when you don't let the imagination create, you miss out on being a part of the miracle. You miss the opportunity to be part of the miracle that God performs. Moment by moment by moment. All is well. All is in perfect harmony, you know? Every interaction offers the individual to grow spiritually based on their choices. Every interaction. So right now, we're all stuck in the privacy of our own homes. That does not mean that we cannot interact. We can interact moment by moment by moment. I'm interacting with you guys now. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to have an interaction. I'm not qualified for this kind of stuff, right? And which brings me to, who are we? I'm not qualified. Reverend Lorena said, can you give lecture? I'm not qualified. Oh, go talk to that person. I'm not qualified to go talk to that person. I heard a preacher one time say, God not only calls the qualified, God qualifies the called. Remember, some theologians believe that Moses had a stutter, had a speech impediment. But that did not keep Moses from hearing the call and going and helping to set God's people free. So many people right now are in bondage of the mind, torment of the mind. Are you being called to go give a word of encouragement? Help to heal? Help to strengthen your sister and help your brother to heal, your fellow man? Are you being called to offer a listening ear? How about that? Be quiet and listen compassionately. People are hurt. And hurt people sing a song, darling, listen to the lyrics. It's the same melody, different tune with people. And sometimes all they need is someone to just listen to them. There is a great prayer in A Course in Miracles that says, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? And what would you have me say? The great thing, we are all entering the fifth dimension, and we all know how to work in the mind's eye. We talk about thoughts becoming things, and we talk about law of attraction and what we are attracting to us. And right now, different people are coming to our minds. We think, oh, I wonder how so-and-so is doing. I haven't talked to them in such a long time. And then they reach out to us, or we reach out to them. Where would you have me go? Go see so-and-so. Well, I can't leave my house. That's an excuse. What you can do is pick up your cell phone. Darling, the whole world is in these little things. Pick up your cell phone. And what do you want me to do? Send a text message. Send a word of encouragement. Give a call. And what do you want me to say in this call? You don't need to know what to say, because all you got to do is make the call. And when you get there, I will speak through you. And when your friends are choosing to live in fear, you can show them what it's like to actually live in love. Follow your internal guidance system. Be the light and live life abundantly, even when our best friends choose not to. One time, Douglas Barker gave me a message from the pulpit. And he says, wow, you definitely march to the beat of your own drum. And I thought, well, yeah. And he says, the great thing is you're followed by a light within you. Keep following that light. And that's the same message I want to give to you. Now is the perfect time to march by the beat of your own drum. You're at your own house. You call all the shots. If you want to, wear high heels and dress in women's clothes and put your nail varnish on and beat your face and have karaoke, do it. No one's watching you. You're in the privacy of your own home. If you want to sit down and write that book that you've been wanting to write all these years but didn't have time because you work too much and the kids don't shut up, do it. You're in the privacy of your own home. What are you creating? What are you feeding? And what are you following when it comes to your internal guidance system? And where is that taking you? I am justjack.com. I send you guys so much love. Thank you guys for letting me come here. Lots and lots and lots of love. Bye, Felicia.